Welcome to episode 26 of the LorainCounty.com Business Insights Podcast. I'm your host, Ed Skimmon, and today we're talking with Anthony Coleman, president of the Lorain County Senior Network. Join us as Anthony talks about the network's mission, services, and how their monthly meetings connect businesses and nonprofits serving seniors. Anthony also delves into the growing demand for senior services driven by an aging population and shares his personal journey in the senior care industry through his work with Care Patrol. Like many others our age, my brothers and I are dealing with an aging parent. From medical issues to doctor's appointments, managing her finances, and ensuring she stays social and engaged, we're navigating the challenges of senior care. Along the way, we're quickly discovering many great local organizations that are helping us through this journey. Here is my conversation with Anthony Coleman.
Anthony Coleman. I'm the president of Lorain County Senior Network.
Welcome, Anthony. Thank you for joining us and sharing your insights. Could you provide an overview of the Lorain County Senior Network?
Lorain County Senior Network's been around for years. We are primarily a business networking group. If you think of senior living space, anybody that would be involved with seniors and helping them make any difficult transitions or look for helpful advice, anybody from nursing centers to home health companies, to hospice companies, to moving companies, realtors that serve seniors, elder law attorneys. There's a slew of different resources that are part of this network, and we've all come together so that we can improve our Rolodex so that as we're working with families and helping them with a tough decision or a tough transition, we have some great connections that we can refer people to help them in their journey.
Can you expand a little bit on the services that Lorain County Senior Network provides for members and the benefits that they receive?
We meet monthly. We have monthly meetings. They usually like to showcase or highlight different senior living facilities who host our meetings. Maybe one month it'll be at Rose Senior Living in Avon, and the next month it'll be at Avon Lake Springer Healthcare Town Center, or any number of senior living facilities that you could think of in Lorain County. Usually host our meetings. We meet the second Thursday of the month from 8:30 to 10. And the first half an hour is light networking, and the next hour is a meeting. We usually have a presenter. We like to wrangle in different nonprofit organizations from Lorain County as well, so they can get tapped into our organization, and we can figure out as an organization how maybe some of our members can step up and serve them as well, or get them connected with some of the families they're serving as they go throughout their daily business. It's low cost to join. It's $55 for an organization. You're allowed 2 members to come to 12 meetings. And we have 2 social events throughout the year. We do like a happy hour social event, something fun in July, and to replace our meeting to where we can just go and relax and have some casual conversations. And then we do a really cool Christmas party in December to celebrate. We do a white elephant gift exchange and just come together and just share and celebrate all the wins that we have together as a group throughout the year.
Could you talk about the value that Lorain County Senior Network provides that accrues beyond the members? How do seniors benefit? How does the community benefit from the work that you do?
I could just think about when I was wet behind the ears getting into this about 7.5 years ago. I didn't come from a healthcare background. I got into the line of work that I do because I had a personal experience with my grandparent, both on my mom and my dad's side. And I didn't know what to do when they fell. They went to the hospital. What's next? What does that look like? So when I got into this business, I didn't really understand healthcare in general. I wasn't a nurse. I didn't work in the hospital system. So for me, becoming part of a networking group like this gave me access to a bunch of resources. And I was able to go to the meetings and pick out 3 or 4 people that I wanted to meet with to get to know them better, to get to learn a little bit more about their services. So then obviously when I was working with my families and helping them, I had resources to connect my families with to help them in their journey. So that was one of the big things for me personally and professionally that this group benefited myself. And I think if you interviewed 10, 15 of the members, they would probably say the same thing. We in the healthcare community, we like to help. We like to serve. This is an industry where most people do it because it's a passion of theirs. They have personal connection, personal experience. They want to serve older adults. And there's a lot of other things that these folks could be doing that they may get paid more. They may have less stress, but they feel called to serve these seniors and they like to help each other. So this networking group allows you to get connected with other individuals that are like-minded, to add to your network, to add to your Rolodex so that you have more resources to share with the families that you're sitting across the table from.
Going forward, what trends do you see in senior services, both nationally and locally?
The big thing is they call it the silver tsunami. When I first got into this business 7.5 years ago, they talked about A staggering statistic is 10,000 people are going to turn 65 every day in this country. From the time I got into this till probably the mid 2030s. Obviously, the baby boomers are aging. So there's a big need to serve this portion of the market with senior living facilities and in-home care services and moving services and realtors that can help them transition from a big colonial with an upstairs bathroom into a space that's going to be better for them and help them to age longer in place at home. So there is lots of need for lots of services across the board, from the nursing facilities, assisted living facilities, 55 and older, apartment buildings, to realtors that can assist with that process, to moving companies, to in-home care services, to home health services, to hospice services, to durable medical equipment companies, to companies that can come in and make modifications on these people's homes to help keep them safe and more operable in their homes. So there is a big opportunity for people in this space to serve this population. So I think there is a lot of opportunity, and that's why groups like us exist, because we know we want to help, and we got to reach far because there's a lot of people out there that need our services.
Let's switch over and talk a little bit about you. What's your background and what led you to your role as the Lorain County Senior Network President?
My wife, Angela, and I own a franchise called Care Patrol. We have about 160 locations across the country. And what Care Patrol does is help families navigate senior living. We help families find independent living, assisted living, memory care, and in-home care. We interview the family, and depending on the needs of our clients, their care needs, their medical needs, what's going on with them cognitively, what's going on with their budget, and then obviously location preference. Much like a realtor, we dial in their needs, and then we know all the senior living facilities inside and out, the availability, which ones do the higher levels of care, which ones don't. Some assisted livings are Medicaid approved, other ones are private pay only. So when we interview the family, we know what 2 or 3 options fit their needs. We actually bring them on tours and show them around, much like a realtor. We help them make their decision, and then we connect them with all the great resources that I was able to meet through a group like Lorain County Senior Network, which is fantastic. And the reason I got into this is because I went through this process with my grandma down in Dayton, my dad's mom. She was in and out of the hospital. She had some mini strokes that developed into vascular dementia, and it really affected her behavior. And she went from being the lady that was sweet as pie to being a really tough patient. And being in and out of facilities, she wasn't always the easiest person to take care of. She didn't always get the best care. And that kind of left me scratching my head thinking, how do families do this? How do they know which facilities are good, which ones to stay away from? What kind of resources to connect their loved ones with to help them in this journey? So it was through a personal experience that I felt called to get into this space and do what we do. And we've been very fortunate. We've been able to build a nice team at an additional territory last March to cover into the Akron, Canton, Youngstown area, as long as Lorain, Medina, Wayne, Ashland, and Richland County with our business. And we've got care advisors that are out serving families and helping them navigate this complicated process all day, every day. And we're super grateful.
What were you doing before starting the franchise?
Prior to this, I was part of another franchise, completely unrelated. It was in the insurance space. We did commercial and property restoration services. So if your house had a fire or a flood, we would come in, and we had a niche inside of the restoration space where we would mostly assess appliances, electronics. And then we had an art division that would focus on art, maybe pictures that you couldn't recreate, restoring antiques, antique furniture, and that sort of thing. So we were serving people during a stressful time. It was a very good business. Just wasn't the right fit for me. I felt called in a different direction. And as I transitioned out of that space and was looking for opportunities, my old business partner actually recommended that I look into Care Patrol. And I did. And that was 7.5 years ago. And I'm super grateful that he mentioned it. And the franchise is a great organization. And we've connected with a lot of the other owners. And it's a great organization where we're serving people in all sorts of different markets throughout the United States. So I'm very proud to be part of Care Patrol in the work we do with our teams.
Going forward, what are your personal goals and what do you still hope to accomplish?
My personal goals is always, who are you growing to become and where are you growing? It's not so much of, I want to help this many families or I want to get my company to this much revenue. It's implementing the processes and the systems and doing the right thing every day to keep myself focused, to be the best husband, the best father I can be, the best leader of our team. And by leading by example, I hope that the team attaches to those behaviors, that growth mindset of showing up every day, doing the best you can, trying to grow, identifying your weaknesses, trying to attack them, identifying your strengths and trying to make those strengths even better. and just continuing to move forward. That's really the definition of success for me is living a balanced life where you're constantly trying to get better and you're constantly trying to impact and help everybody around you get better.
When you were evaluating different franchise options, what criteria did you use?
Really, very simply, I looked at some different options. I looked at home care, but it seemed very complex. And the capital expense to get into it was a little bit more than what I was comfortable with. I looked at some things, maybe being in real estate or being a home inspector. I was all over the place. But then when I found Care Patrol, me being a little naive, I didn't even look at any other franchises that do what we do. As soon as I learned about Care Patrol, I connected with their mission. I connected with the gentleman that did their franchise sales. As I went through the process, I felt very comfortable getting to know the other franchisees, asking them questions. It validated that I was going in the right direction. So I looked all over the place. And then this just connected with my heart. And then I was full speed ahead. I'll never forget. My wife was a high school teacher at the time. She taught at Midview High School down in Grafton. She comes home from school one day and I was super excited. And she said, "What are you excited about?" I said, I figured out what we're going to do. And I told her, and at first she was skeptical, but then as we went through the process, she got more and more on board. And I did the business by myself for 2 years. And then she quit teaching and came on board. And now her and I have been working together now for over 5 years. And we're very complementary, not only in our marriage, but in our business, where a lot of things that I like to do, she's not so fond of, and vice versa. So our strengths and weaknesses balance each other out, and we're able to work very well together. I love working with her. She's fantastic. And I've loved watching her grow as a professional as well. And she's really growing into a great leader that our team loves. And she's just the glue that kind of holds everything together. So I'm very blessed.
Outside of work, what are your hobbies and interests, and how do these help to recharge you?
Spirituality is very important to our family. We follow God and we love to go to church and participate in activities with our church, with small groups. We love to go to Christian concerts and worship. And our kids go to a small Christian school in Westlake called Westside Christian Academy. And through that school, we met a lot of the other parents just through our kids making friends there. We love to have fellowship with like-minded people that are pouring into their kids, that are serving a higher purpose. So a lot of our time is spent around how do we serve? How do we connect? How do we spread the gospel and the good news? And I love to lift weights. I love to exercise. A friend of mine owns a great gym. If anybody's looking to get fit, he owns FMU Fitness in Avon. We get after it Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 5:30 in the morning. We clang and bang in there. So I love to move. I love to exercise. I love to run. We've got a dog. I love to walk my dog. And then if there's a day that I could do just about anything, you find me on a river with a fly rod in my hand, and I'd be doing some fly fishing.
Finally, where can people get more information on Lorain County Senior Network, Care Patrol, and connect with you personally?
At Lorain Senior Network, you can Google us and find our website. There's information on there about how to get in touch with the board on how to become a member. We'll gladly let you know where the next meeting is so you can show up. And we like to give everybody at least a trial or two. Come to a couple meetings for free and see if this is for you. Some people think it's a great idea. After they go to a couple of meetings, they may realize that this just isn't for their particular business. It's not going to help them grow their business or grow themselves personally. And then other people come and say, "How did I not know about you for years?" They get instantly connected in, become part of the group, and they see the benefits relatively quickly. So you can find us online. There is an email address, loraincountysn@gmail.com, loraincountysn@gmail.com. That is actually my email that's connected to Lorain County Senior Network. So if you want to shoot me an email, I'd be happy to respond with some information on our group, our meetings, how to become a member. So that's regarding Lorain County Senior Network. And if you're not sure, come see a meeting. Come hang out with us and see what you think. And we'd be glad to scoop you up and make you part of our group if it's a good fit for you. And then Care Patrol, you can find us on the web, Care Patrol North Central Ohio. The URL is a little long, but you can email me as well at acoleman@carepatrol.com. That's acoleman, Coleman @carepatrol.com. Or you can reach us on our office line at 440-387-5180.
Thank you, Anthony, for joining us and sharing your insights.
You're very welcome, Ed. Thanks for having me.
Thank you for tuning in to this episode of the LorainCounty.com Business Insights Podcast. We hope you found this conversation informative and that it provided some ideas that will help your business continue to grow. Please follow us on your favorite podcast platform to hear each episode where we shine a spotlight on local resources that will boost your business. And we want to hear from you. Email ed@loraincounty.com to share your feedback and topic ideas.